welcome guys. This is Blaze-Manga and Justin Bradley here accompanying us. We're going to be interviewing Mr. Mikhail. We're going to be doing an interview about his upcoming manga, and we're going to be talking about that here in this interview.
Why don't you introduce yourself to the guys, Mikhail?
Hey everyone, my name is Mikhail Sebastian. I am the author and illustrator of Mythallica Lux Nova, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we're so thrilled to have you here, man. We have a couple of questions to ask you. So the first question we have is, what is Mythallica Lux Nova all about? Is it action, shonen? You tell us about it.
It's basically the concept of taking mythological figures from different mythologies, you know, from African mythology, Japanese mythology, Norse mythology, etc., and just kind of like putting them all into one big story and kind of letting them tell their own story outside of the mythologies that they come from. So it kind of fits into that genre of fantasy and science fiction, but it definitely has that shonen appeal, you know, with the characters, as well as, you know, a lot of, you know, it has some of the smaller elements, the romance, which isn't too big at the moment right now in the story, but eventually in the future that'll play a bigger part. And then, of course, the drama aspect that's there as well.
Man, I like that. I'm a sucker for romance, so I like to incorporate that in my stories as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you kind of have to have a little bit of romance, you know, just to kind of keep people interested. Everyone's going to always root for two characters to be together.
Yeah,
so playing on that's a good thing.
Yeah, we always have the shipping wars, and that's always fun to have.
Yeah.
You want to create some drama with your romance too.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
How long have you been working on this project? When did you start the idea? When did the concept come to your head, and when you start writing it and the art and all that?
Man, I want to say like 2005 was when I first decided I wanted to make a story. And it was originally called Kuro Kurai. This is back in the day where, you know, you first starting out and you're doing a comic, you want to do it like a manga style, so you name all your characters Japanese, and none of them are Japanese. So back then I was really in that phase, but you know, as I matured and I ended up going to school and kind of just expanded my horizons as far as arts, a lot of that changed. And then so yeah, it was probably about 8 years now. About 8 years I've been working on it. It was about 7 years of pre-production because I actually started drawing the pages last year. So
you have your chapters released online first, and then I think you remaster it for the actual volumes.
Exactly, because like I mean, one of the benefits of working digitally, I mean, you guys know, one of the benefits is that it's able for us to go back and make these changes easily. So when I looked at, you know, where I was a year ago and to where I am now, there was no way I was going to produce a book, you know, with the artwork that was there now, and I know how much I've grown, you know, to this point today. So I had to go back and make all those changes. And it's funny, I was struggling with it a little bit last year around December. I was struggling with the idea of doing it. And then sometimes I feel like the universe will set you up to make you do things that you don't really want to do. So like I wanted to go back and make these changes, but at the same time, I didn't want to. So I ended up losing all my files on my computer, which forced me to have to go back and make those changes. But I could have looked at it and been like, you know what, I lost everything, screw it, and walked away. I was like, man, nah, I'm going to take that as an opportunity and as a sign that I need to make it better. True. So that's what I did. So now I'm about 150 pages in through the remastering process. So it was a great decision.
Yeah, I approve that decision, man. It's a huge challenge too. Hey, it's rewarding at the end, I think.
Exactly. It's worth it, man. Definitely worth it.
I've seen on the first episode that they can fly, and I like how they fly. They just have kind of like a flame in the back. It's pretty original, actually. I've never seen something like that before.
This whole project has gone through so many phases, but that was like one of the ideas that stuck from the very beginning, and it's still here now. So like that was one of the pivotal things I definitely wanted to do. I love the idea of just the flames representing their wings and just you know, flying around.
It's a really nice little touch. I like it a lot.
How long have you been planning this story to be, actually?
Mythallica is more of the universe that all my stories take place in.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So like Lux Nova is kind of like a story that exists within that universe, just like Plea to Canaan or Monster League Baseball. All of these stories take place in Mythallica. So it's kind of like Lux Nova, I'm not sure how long. I know that as far as the scale of the story, how big I want it to be. I'm not sure how long it would take me to tell the whole story, but definitely something around the 10-year mark, maybe even longer.
Oh, nice.
So I'm definitely looking in that range. So I'm going to be doing it for a pretty good minute.
Good
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
As a creator, I understand, like you write something and then you come up with a new idea. You want to incorporate that new idea into the story, so that tends to make the chapters a bit longer and tends to change the plans to make the story stronger. I bet that happens to you a lot too.
All the time. All the time. Like I'll write out a whole chapter and I'll just let it sit for a minute. Then I'll go into the next chapter and the next chapter and I just let them sit. And I always end up going back and revising each one through. And so I'll do it like I'm on chapter 15 right now in writing, but I'm actually only on chapter 8 in the drawings. And so I've completely revised chapters like 10 to 13 already like 4 times. And I'm still going through that process of revising them. So it's kind of just like you said, just establishing an idea and then realizing, oh, I can make that a little bit better. Let me go back and change it. But when you do that, you know, you're writing ahead of yourself, you got to go back and change everything.
True.
So it's like to make sure that it all has that continuity. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, man, definitely, that's a huge part of the creative process. It's just laying it down and making sure you come back and make it better. You can always make something better.
How long have you been interested in anime and manga? Was this something you wanted to do when you were a little kid? Was it your idea of what you wanted to do when you grew up?
Well, I was always interested in it, but where I'm from, the arts don't really exist. So So as a kid, I didn't see the arts as being a career. It didn't seem like something that was possible. Because I'm from a military town, so the town caters completely to the military. So you know, people come and go. That's just how it is here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so when I was younger, I originally wanted to be a veterinarian, and then I realized I was like, wait, I'm scared of half these animals. I don't want to.
That's funny.
I was like, I hate snakes. Frogs creep me out. I don't like insects. Why would I want to be it? No, that's not going to work for me.
That's not
so
for
then
me.
I started drawing, and then you know, I started just playing around with it. Then after that, for about 2 years, I stopped drawing. I was about between like 13 and 15. I stopped, and I started playing basketball.
Oh,
and I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. When I was playing with my friends, and we would lose a game, and they would all be disappointed, and I'd be like, well, see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go play some video games. I realized that if I didn't care about it, then it's obviously something I didn't want to do.
True. Yeah.
So then, but see, like the funny thing is, my sister is the one who actually taught me how to draw. She's a singer in L.A. and she taught me how to draw. And after a while, I ended up picking it up around like when I was about 15 years old. And ever since, I've been doing it since. And now she's singing, and now I've excelled way past her, and I like to brag about that. Hopefully, she'll watch this. So she'll see it.
So as an artist and as a creator, you probably like a lot of comics, manga, movies, and stuff. So what or who has been your biggest influence?
Well, as far as a person that I've actually been in contact with, it would have to be my family. My mother and my sister have always been supportive. I mean, 100% supportive of anything I wanted to do. They were there when I wanted to be a veterinarian. They were there when I wanted to be a basketball player. They supported me through all of my little life changes that I wanted to do. And then when I finally got to art, I kind of feel like they always knew what I was going to do. They would just kind of let me go through the motions. But when I finally got to art, they were, you know, always really supportive. But, I mean, as far as, like, artists that really inspire me, the very first one, I mean, I have to give it, and this is probably your answer, too. I mean, Dragon Ball Z, like, that was, growing up, I would be so angry if I didn't get home in time for Toonami to watch Dragon Ball Z. That was like, it had to happen. And if it didn't, I would be pissed for the rest of the week. Couldn't miss an episode of Dragon Ball. And like, that was the first thing that really got me into anime and stuff. But before then, I was always really into, I used to watch old Godzilla movies with my dad.
Oh,
so that's kind of what got me into the, you know, the Eastern culture. And then as I grew up, I ended up branching out towards manga. So it actually kind of started more so with film than it did with actual comics. And after a while, I started realizing, okay, I'm seeing what I like from both. It's the art of storytelling was what I was, you know, being drawn to the most. So then after a while, I just kind of just stuck to it, and here I am.
Talk about multiculturalism in comics and manga. Do you think the industry lacks a variety of races?
As main protagonist.
the protagonists, the different races, as in Black, Hispanic, Indians?
Most definitely. I think the entertainment industry in general lacks from, a more diverse audience. But at the same time, what kind of see, that's a very particular topic. I feel like if you're going to introduce diversity, you should do it for, for a higher intention than just doing it for diversity's sake. Good example is, and I am in no way attacking Marvel for it, but a lot of their diverse, strategies to introduce diversity, changing this character Black, changing this character white, blah, 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 which I still think works. It definitely works, and I have no fault against that, but I think their intentions and their motives behind it are not pure. It's all about the dollar bill, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's all marketing.
They're making these characters diverse for the sake of making them diverse to reach a larger audience. And I completely understand that. It's a business. Of course, that's, you got to think about your business. But we need creators who are creating multicultural, characters, because that's who they are. The characters come from them as creators. It can't just be for the sake of, let me make this character Black, let me make this character white, let me make this character Asian or Spanish, Hispanic, whatever. It can't just be for the sake of, we got to reach that audience. It's got to have true intentions. Another really good example is the hip hop covers they just did. Now, that's obviously for publicity. I mean, it's cool and it looks cool, but that's obviously has a motive. I mean, like, Marvel is a tribute to or homage to hip hop. Come on. Like, we can see through that pretty easily. It works for them, cool, if it works for you, but their motives behind it are completely in the wrong place. So that's kind of what annoys me more than anything. I'm happy that there is diversity being shown, even if this is the way that it has to be done. Maybe this will be the start for creators to introduce their own multicultural characters. Maybe this will be the start for people to start accepting more, characters from different ethnicities. But if this has to be the start, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, the whole idea behind it, I'm not 100% behind. But I mean, if it works out for our good in the end, let's do it.
I've seen a lot of Marvel fans that wanted Peter Parker. They wanted him to be Black just because it's cool, right? But they already have a Black Spider-Man called Miles Morales. I see no point of changing Peter Parker's race because he was written as a white character. And when he wrote him, it was so many years ago, and I understand that. But if you want your own Black or Hispanic superhero, create a new one. There's plenty good ones already.
The thing with Spider-Man too is I completely agree with you. Don't change Peter Parker. If you're gonna do a Black Spider-Man movie, make it Miles Morales. Keep Peter Parker, and let Miles Morales have his own series. And I think that's where a lot of people, like the big debate behind it was confusing a lot of people. And I was on the forums as a fan correcting people because that's just what I do. I'm like, no, he's not Peter Parker. He's Miles Morales. They're two different people. So, like, I think a lot of people, the misinformation is kind of what makes that whole debate a lot dirtier than it has to be, because people still think that Miles Morales is Peter Parker but Black, but that's not, that's not the case. So, I definitely agree with you on that one. Keep the characters as they are, and if you are gonna have a character like Spider-Man change ethnicity, or you have somebody else take the helm, people need to realize it's not so much changing the character as much as it is, passing the torch. It's almost like a hero doesn't want to be a hero forever. Eventually, they're going to have to give it up to somebody else to do it. So if you look at it from that perspective, it makes it a lot better. But there's some people who refuse to see it that way, and they see it as, you're changing my childhood, or you're ruining the character, and yada, 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 but it's really not that serious.
No, come on.
I just think it's very interesting because I'm doing a multicultural cartoon myself, actually. I just like the fact that you're doing something multicultural, not just for the sake of just being multicultural. So I just think that's important, because I have experiences with myself. I have an African family, and I'm very multicultural and diverse. And I understand the experiences that go along with multiculturalism, not just for the sake of the dollar, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. No, that makes total sense. That means you understand it from an area that's outside of just the realm of finance. You see it for what it is first, and then you can apply it to your craft. That's how it should be done.
All right, so getting back to your projects, do you have anything else in mind coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, I've heard about rumors of you doing a small crossover.
Yeah, I'm doing a crossover with Space Pop by Corey
Cool.
Mikhail and Sebastian Vieira. I can't pronounce it, but I think that's his last name. But yeah, we're doing a crossover, hopefully to have it done probably the end of this year or maybe early next year. See, the great thing about space stories is that you can make your own rules. That's why I love space stories. That's why I fell in love with Star Wars, because 30-something years down the line, they can still introduce stories for that whole franchise, and it will fit into the lore. It will all fit into the lore because the universe is already so massive. There's stories like that exist, and they're also some of the most successful ones. You got Lord of the Rings, you got One Piece, you got Harry Potter, and they're all established in this world that's so big that they can pick parts and places within that world and tell as many stories as they want. Those are some of the most successful franchises that exist, are the ones that, don't limit themselves to a certain plane. They establish the world of the universe and say, this is how big it is. Now we're going to tell this part of the story. And then, another story will have this part of the story. So I always liked that idea about space stories, which is why I wanted Mythallica to be, sci-fi. And well, that was a part of the reason of making it sci-fi. Another one was because I'm just a sci-fi geek in general. I love sci-fi movies and film and cinema and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Let's talk about your Kickstarter a little bit. How long have your Kickstarter been going on so far?
So it's been going on for about a week. I've been incredibly surprised with, how many people have given to it and the amounts that they've given. Which is surprising. I mean, granted, I made half my goal and about, with only about 20 backers. That's huge. That means people are giving, willingly, and that's such a beautiful thing because it tells me that you actually believe in me, which inspires and motivates me to make sure that the final product is that much better, for the person when they get it. So it's been going on for about a week. I'm at, I think the last time I checked, it's about $22.89. is where I'm at now. So, but yeah, I'm still pushing it. I'm gonna keep pushing it, and it's going to get funded. I'm an optimist, 100%. It'll get funded. I'm definitely believing in that.
We're looking forward to have the actual copies in our hands, man. Cause
yes,
it's awesome. I want to see how it looks in the page. It's a different experience to me. Read something in my hands I read on the screen.
Definitely.
Maybe because I'm old school or something, but I like it. That feeling,
Nah, you're right, man. I'm 100% with you, and I can assure you, man. I've been working hard on these pages, and they look good. Not to toot my own horn, but they look good, man.
Man, I'm so excited to hear that. Wait.
Definitely.
For anybody watching it that has not been able to look at the Kickstarter, where can they go to find your Kickstarter?
You can go to my Facebook fan page, Mythallica Lux Nova. Mythallica. That is such a hard word to spell sometimes when you're trying to do it off the top of your head.
Yeah.
And then, or you can go to my Instagram, which is the same at Mythallica, or also my Tumblr, which is at Mythallica. You can check out. I have information, and I'm sure I have somewhere in all of those that'll give you a link to the Kickstarter. Yeah. Or you can just go to the Kickstarter page and just type in Mythallica in the search bar.
And we will make sure to leave links in the description below, guys. So if you're watching this interview, you can go right now and click on that link and go to that Kickstarter page and donate, man. Just a couple of dollars, and you'll get a nice copy of a really, really awesome story with really, really good graphics, man. It's great. I support talent, and I think you're really talented.
I appreciate it, man. I think you guys are extremely talented too, and I cannot wait until we get to the point where we can collaborate and start working with each other and making this industry change and everything about it, man. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited
for it.
Man. Sounds awesome. Any closing thoughts, because we're wrapping up this interview right now?
Just keep pushing, man.
Pushing. Let's make this happen. I'm very excited.
Definitely. You guys do the same. Keep pushing. We got to, man. We got to, the change that we want to see in this industry, the people that are over it now aren't going to do it. We got to do it. So let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it, man.
Their time has passed. It's our time.
It's our time. It's our time.
All right, Mikhail, thank you so much for being with us. It was very interesting doing this interview with you.
Go to his Kickstarter page and donate, man. We need to reach that goal by the end of the month. So it's gonna happen.
If not, I will show up at your house and grab you.
All right. Well,
Thanks
thank
so
you
much,
for
guys.
being part of this, and guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the other side.
Peace.
Hi, my name is Mikhail Sebastian, and this is Mythallica Lux Nova. Lux Nova follows two brothers, Aether and Caleb, who are from a civilization on the brink of extinction. When they're attacked by an evil syndicate known as the Feed, they are separated from their tribe and must trek throughout the universe in hopes of reuniting with them. Mythallica is the idea of taking mythologies and characters from countless mythologies from around the world and putting them together into one big epic. This Kickstarter is to fund the very first volume of Mythallica Lux Nova. Should I reach my goal of $5,000, I'll be able to produce the physical copies of Volume 1 as well as all the rewards for the backers. Up until this point, I've been posting all of the chapters online for free at Mythallica.com. And in a way, it's all been leading up to this point, the magnum opus, the printing of a physical volume. For me, the idea is telling a story. A unique story that will resonate with people, that people will enjoy to read, that's action-packed, fun, and full of fascinating characters that develop and grow as the story progresses. Now is your chance to be a part of it. With your help, I'll finally be able to produce a physical copy of Mythallica Lux Nova. Thanks for watching, and I hope I can count on your support. Take care.